Seychelles has always been an interesting place from like an offshore financial services standpoint because you find that it's kind of a gateway to Africa, and it's also very liberal when it comes to their securities dealer license and the ability to get it. It's rather easy and it's rather broad, right? You can trade equities. Most people use it for Forex, brokerages, and the like. And it's an interesting locale from from a tax standpoint and from a banking standpoint, right? Like there's a good availability of banking as a licensed entity in Seychelles, but they've dipped their toe now into the crypto markets, and I think it's a really interesting thing. And of course, we go back to like the regulatory sandbox, right? That's their nascent attempt at having a crypto license, which is the right thing to do, perhaps, but like Singapore and other places that have it in BVI and things like that, it's sort of like this impeccable gray area, right, that you're in. But what's nice about it is that Seychelles has really taken the lead in licensing, and the one participant in the regulatory sandbox is a security token exchange. And I've harped on this before, like the problem with security tokens versus like traditional securities is if you sold me shares of a company, there's always the possibility that you could list those shares on a market somewhere. Whereas with security tokens, there really isn't a liquid market that exists today, right? And there's various attempts at doing it, but that security token could trade on, right? So you really have this like a liquid asset. And I know you could go on DeFi platforms, and that's a whole other story for another time. But the Seychelles regulatory sandbox is really interesting because they've embraced like this ability to create these exchanges, right? And their one member is already an exchange and custodian. And it also allows for like centralized crypto exchanges and DeFi and everything that a crypto license would otherwise provide for. But they've shown a willingness, right, the FSA there, to allow for the trading of security tokens and the creation of markets therefore, which I think is a great opportunity. And not only just the market itself, but the inputs to that market, right? Like the market doesn't function without clearing firms, without brokers, without all the elements, transfer agents and custodians. So it's really a great opportunity, right? And for the cost and the relative ease that I sense in terms of getting it, it's really worth taking a look at versus some of the more established crypto licenses, right? And the law reads that the regulatory sandbox is sort of just a precursor into the license when they actually codify that and create that crypto license. So it's definitely worth checking out. And depending on especially if like your area or target market includes like places like Dubai, it's certainly worth a hard look, at least because of its proximity and the ability to passport the license to there. So definitely hit me up if you have any questions. Email is adam@adamtracy.io, and I will talk to you soon. Cheers.